Hey everybody, this is Brent Bristow here for Resin Maniacs, and today I'm going to be doing an out-of-box review for you of the Master. This is a 1/4 scale bust that is produced by Silver Screen Icons, which is of course run by our good friend Saul Alvarez. And this kit is actually based upon Bela Lugosi's portrayal of Dracula, which is one of my favorite all-time characters. So we're going to take a look at this. I actually picked this kit up at Wonderfest. I looked at it very briefly when I got home, so I'm going to look at it a little closer today. Hopefully you can join along. The kit comes in 4 parts. The stone base. This is a simple stone base, but it still has a lot of things, a lot of weathered look to it. It's nice because it gives a lot of detail, but it's not going to take anything away from actually looking at the bust itself. Then we have the head, which is a separate part. This is not really something you normally see in a 1/4 scale bust, so a little different there. The body itself, which features the evening suit, the tuxedo that Dracula normally wears, and the collar is a separate part. So taking a quick look at this, we'll start with the head. This thing was sculpted by a sculptor from Italy named Daniele Danco Angeletto. I'm not Italian, I'm probably saying that wrong. But I've been hearing some good things about him, and looking at the sculpt initially, this is a very beautiful sculpt of Lugosi as Dracula. There are a lot of these out there, but this is actually one of the better likenesses that I've seen, and the hairline looks great. All the different details. This is very well done with the sculpt, so very good addition to all the models of Dracula out there. I'm seeing just a little bit of a seam line around the hair, which is to be expected. A little work with a fine file will probably take care of that. Looking at castings, a lot of times if you're going to see any problems with air bubbles, it's usually going to be with the chin, the nose, or around the eye. I'm not seeing anything like that here. The casting on this looks very clean. Not seeing any real problems there that's going to require a lot of putty or anything like that. So just a little bit of cleanup in the hair, and I think that's pretty much going to be ready to go. And it being a separate part is going to make it a little easier for you to paint. Moving on to the actual body. The first thing I noticed right away is that there's a ton of detail with the ribbon around his neck. A lot of times you see this and it's very minimal, but there's a lot of texture that has been sculpted in there, and also a lot of texture to the medallion itself. So there's a lot of different things that you can add to the detail of that rather than just slapping down some red and slapping down some gold and moving on. So that's a very neat thing. Again, looking at the casting, there might need to be a little cleanup around the collar, but overall, I'm seeing a lot of, very good stuff, very positive things. Not going to take just a ton of work. The back of it, I'm not seeing any big seam lines. A lot of times on these busts, you'll see that. But overall, looks like it's going to be very minimal cleanup on that. Of course, the collar is a separate part. The collar is going to go on like this. And looks like it's going to fit in fairly well, but it is going to require a little cleanup, a little probably a little epoxy or something to put that on there and then fill in the space and make it conform. But it is going to make it a little easier, and of course with the head being a separate part will make it much easier for you to clean and then get everything painted behind the head. I've done a couple of Dracula kits where it's all one part and it's really hard to paint between his head and the collar and everything. So everything seems to go together pretty well. Let's see how the head goes on. Looking at it, it looks like it fits in there pretty well. Not going to require a lot of putty to fill in around there, but it does seem to be a little top heavy. It wants to lean forward, so you're going to have to, use some epoxy or something to get that fit into place where you want it to be. And once you do, I think you'll end up having a very beautiful bust there. All right. If you want to order this, you can get this from Saul Alvarez at Silver Screen Icons. His email address is saul62@aol.com. And I certainly hope that we can see more of Angeletto's work in the future with his sculpts. And someone may be asking, do we really need another Bela Lugosi Dracula sculpt? And if it's this well done, I would say yes, we absolutely do. This is a great piece. All right, I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and this is Brent Bristow for Resin Maniacs.